Say there were only one thing in existence, one individual in existence to follow. What would get done? Only what that one did choose. But in actuality, and when we look at the world, how many leaders, how many individuals do you follow in one day? The teachings of. In the past, they've taught you to do this and that and that and this, and your parents, I'm sure, have taught you a lot. But your friends have taught you, and others have taught you, and others have taught you. They've all aided you in your life through leadership. They are not one in existence. They're one existence. What they taught you in your time with them, or through their teachings, as in the good books, have taught you how to work together, how to live, how to prosper, how to accomplish great things. But when there's only one, if there were only one thing that had taught you a lesson about how to live, what would you live as? Not much, would you? But in actuality, how many things have influenced your life and taught you to live? So how many influences and leaderships and beliefs do you follow in that have been taught to you by others? By example, by lesson, and by good books. So where we work together and where all those work together is truly what makes up what you choose to follow. When you choose to follow those lessons taught by this individual entity or this individual entity, and by entity we mean an individual, like a teacher, or a parent, or a good book, or a leadership role in the government, or regulations, where they have taught us to work together, where they have shown us cooperation and togetherness and unity, and where they have not. Where have they separated us? Do you remember those individuals and those teachings that have taught you to separate? Like prohibition, how they separated out the smokers from the rest of society. Even though we were in separate sections, they still kicked us out of restaurants. And now the good books, how they try to separate each good book into its own individual thing. When in actuality, yes, they are individual good books, but where they work together is what keeps this world going. If there were just one good book to follow, where would the cooperation between the good books be taught? Where would you learn cooperation? Where would you learn unity and togetherness to work with others? As the good book teaches to work with other good books. As each good book teaches to work with other good books. Part of the share that is of the good books in their teaching. As is with governments and with teachers and schooling. Where have you worked in teams or where have you worked individually? But when you were working individually, you were working towards a common goal. And you notice how your teachers before you in that individual contest, if you're in an individual contest, how many teachers did you have that taught you of it? See, we are not taught by a single individual or a single individual book to get along or cooperate. We are taught by the unity of all of these books, where they share, in what they share, and what stands in the way of that share is also being taught. And what does that do? It causes such things as what? Well, you can imagine wrath and war and separation and conflict. Loss. How many things have been lost because of separations from unity? From separation of good books? Or separations of individuals from the whole of the group? that individual is lost, and what could they have taught you if they had not been lost from your group? But what does keep us together? Not that separation individual, not those lessons that teach of separation, but those lessons that teach of the share, where we share in likeness, where we share in light, where we share in light. You know what that means? Say you were to shine like a star. What you share with another star shine, where your light is equal in color. A light to equal in color. Close, but not quite. Because you're still unique. And in that uniqueness, you share a light that is close to that of what? Of another individual. Which causes you to work together overall, no matter what expanses you are separated by, you still share that light, so you're still working together, even though you might be separated apart. So you see the greatness of the share that we create in our lives, and the greatness of the share of the good books, and the good teachings of the past, and the teachings that you have been taught. And if you had just had one teacher, what would you know? But in actuality, how many teachers do you have? I'll let you wonder about that. I'll let you think about that. How many teachers have you had? And how many teachers can you have? And where is that share? And what is it you share? Thank you for your time, Christopher David Clayton of the United Unified Belief.